Here we go.
What's up, lifers? It's Bricky Sergeant Benny, and we are back with another episode of Life Through Our Lens. We have a very special episode today. Our first ever listener submitted episode idea. This one comes from our listener, Allie, loyal listener, self-proclaimed podcast connoisseur, and she wrote this in from the airport about airport travel and all the things that comes with. And I'm going home for the holidays. Benny's going home for the holidays. We figured, you know what? This is a perfect time to rip this one out. And I understand Benny's working a lot and traveling a lot. And what you got, Benny?
Man, I got a doozy of a story right away. It's the epitome of travel, kicking the balls mentality. I was away for work last week. San Diego was fantastic, by the way. If you get an opportunity to go out there, definitely check it out. So let's flash forward. I was there for a week. It's last Friday. I have a very early call in Central Time. I'm on Pacific Time, so I am up early. My flight is supposed to leave at noon, and it gets canceled at 7 a.m. Apparently, there's a big snowstorm in Minnesota. Everybody, 6 inches, really. And so anyway, that's a huge cluster trying to get your flight rerouted. So you can't call in anymore. It's just not a thing. You can't call customer service. It's like a 4-hour hold time. So the only option is to go on the little chat deal, and you just have to pray that you get a competent chatter back to you. So after about an hour and a half, they finally were like, yeah, we can get you on the 240. I'm like, phenomenal. Good deal. Like, not happy about it because I wanted to get home, not at like 9 o'clock, but whatever. Better than getting stuck. To my chagrin, and I'm still pissed about this, I get to the airport. Everything looks great. Weather report looks great. Minnesota's not getting totally hammered with the snow. Flight takes off. Bumpy as hell because there's like this crazy storm. I don't know about you guys, but even though I know air travel is safe, turbulence still makes me a little edgy, especially when I'm tired. And we're about half hour away. It's like 7:45. I'm like, great. I'm going to be tucked in by 9. I'm freaking exhausted. Captain gets on. He goes, buckle up. We're turning around.
It's the worst thing to hear on a plane. Hey, yeah, you're going to want to fasten your seatbelts.
Just, just to like get into that too, because like it got extremely bumpy after that. It just, no reason to calm the nerves for the galley out there. Just everyone's like, oh shit, like everyone straps in real time. And so yeah, then he goes, we're gonna be rerouting to Denver. So I'm 25-30 minutes outside of Minneapolis heading back to Denver.
Yeah, you're hovering over Mankato. You can see the MSP airport from your plane, I bet. And they turn you around.
I felt like we were like on the descent, and then they're like, nah. And then the pilot's like not saying anything. It's bumpy as hell. We're trying to turn around. And the flight attendant comes on. He's like, yeah, we're going to Denver. We're not turning around and hovering. We're making an executive decision. We're going back to Denver. So,
all right. Quick interruption. So maybe one of our listeners, Joe Gromick, could chime in. Why wouldn't you just fly to like Chicago or St. Louis, even?
Literally anywhere else.
Denver? What?
Like Des Moines? I feel like we were like Omaha. Like there's lots of options. I mean, the only thing that makes sense to me is Denver's a huge airport and maybe it's easier to reroute people. I don't know. That's the only logic I had in my brain. But either way, that was another like hour 15 at Denver. Then we land, and getting off of planes is already stressful because everyone's shitting their jeans. And the people that had connecting flights are like really, really eager to get off this flight. Where am I going to go? I'm going to miss my connection. Yada, yada, yada. The Costanza freaking. And so we get out and everyone's panicking. And the pilot gets on the phone and he's like, yeah, we're out of flight time. So we're not leaving till tomorrow. So everyone book a hotel room, or you can stay in the airport. We're leaving at 6 a.m. So I've watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Thanks, Steve Martin. You're the man. Booked a hotel room right away. And I was like not getting screwed over, having to take an Uber to like an off airport property. And so then the kerfuffle continues. I don't ever check a bag. I don't ever do it because I'm trying to get in and out as soon as possible. However, I was gifted a nice bottle of wine and I brought that back. So now I'm headed to the carousel. And because it's a delayed, redirected flight, You think it's going to be a timely fashion? No, not even in a perfect world. It literally took an hour and a half to get my bag. So then at this point, I'm just defeated. I accepted the fact that like, it's just going to be a terrible night. Now I'm trying to figure out where the hotel is. It's on the airport property. And I'm like, great. I'm like, I'll go get a beer. I'll like watch freaking sports. Not that bad. The line is down the escalator. It's people are everywhere because there was multiple flights that were redirected. The hotel is like maxed out. So it took me another hour and 15 minutes to just get to the front desk to check in. At that point, it's like 10:15. I run upstairs, like toss my shit. I'm like, I need to go find something to eat. You think there's going to be line free? Nope. Packed, freaking packed, jam packed. Can't find freaking food. They're like, it's an hour and a half at best. So I had freaking like sweet potato fries as like that was the only thing I could get within like a half an hour and a beer. Yeah. So drown the sorrows away a little bit.
Good balanced dinner there. But so quick question. Do they pay for that?
So they don't normally pay for hotel rooms. To my knowledge, I don't know that for sure, but this time they said they would. So I know that they're going to reimburse people for the hotel room because I think it's on them. And I think that in like regular times, I would have been able to land in Minneapolis if the pilots weren't out of flight time. So I think they like took the L on that one and they were like, yeah, we'll buy your hotel room.
And you get to fly out. Like you don't have to buy another ticket, do you?
No, but that leads me to the most frustrating part of the entire process. Because at this point, I'm tired again. And, everyone who's traveling and shit happens, you're always exhausted. So you're on the freaking burners and you get a ticket on your phone. And I never have like a printed ticket, right? You got the mobile ticket, you put it in your wallet, whatever. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, great, there's no ticket. According to the app, I have been in Minneapolis for 12 hours.
Oh, it just deleted off your phone.
Just gone. So now I'm like, shit, it's 5 a.m. I'm supposed to leave. I thought I was going to like zip through. Nope. I get to the freaking like check my bag area. Packed. Everyone's panicking. I don't have a ticket. We're going to miss the flight. I got to get home. Everyone's shitting their jeans. I will say there was a lady. She wasn't a nice lady, but she was an effective lady. And she ran shit that morning. She was like, everybody shut up. You're coming with me. If you're on this flight, you're going there. And she's like got orange cones magically in her hands, directing traffic. And so no one had a ticket. And people that still had their like actual printed one were getting rejected by security because they were like, we don't have like you in our system. We don't see that your flight is going anywhere. So they're all rushing over. Now we have like 50 minutes to get on this flight. And they had to force print every single person's ticket. So I finally got it. I got on the plane, thank God, made it home. But I do know that like 20 people got snuffed and had to wait until like a 9 or 10 o'clock next flight. So if that had happened to me, I think I would have had a meltdown because the tempers were flaring at that point with the no ticket situation. I've never run into that.
Yeah, that is legitimately a worst case scenario that I've ever heard as far as airport travel goes. Because I've never really run into anything like that. And Benny just had every red light on the way out.
Literally everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. The only thing they didn't do, credit to them, is lose my bag. So I got that going for me, which
there
is
you
nice.
go. Nice. So, you got the cherry on top.
Yeah. Positive vibes.
It's the little wins in those situations. Yeah. When shit is hitting the fan, it's those small little wins that gain momentum to make your life a little bit better. But that's so funny, man. You're just hotels suck. Plane delayed multiple times, and then all you want to do is get home, and you just can't.
And dude, so get this. So when we got there, the whole UCLA like men's basketball team was there because they had an emergency landing because apparently like a part of the pilot's window in the cockpit like blew out.
Oh no.
So the whole men's team was there and they were obviously like, that was like more of a big deal. So everything was just a shit show. Flying in the winter is the absolute worst. You guys already know my sentiment about flying.
You love it.
Effective, but not my favorite. Not my favorite at all.
But so you went from Denver to almost Minneapolis and back. Did you at least have a TV?
I did. I watched 2 James Bond movies because I think
Hell
I was in
yeah.
the air for about 5 hours. San Diego. It was like it's like a three and some change from San Diego, and then it was like another hour 15 back, plus a little bit of loop de loops, trying to wait for a time to land. It was phenomenal.
All right. Well, yeah, just hearing that story makes me want to drink. And so that's a perfect segue into the rest of the episode here. So Benny, thank you for that. And I am gonna go on record saying an airport beer is the number one beer of all time. Doesn't matter what kind it is, it's number one.
Whoa. It's definitely up there. And it's
Number one.
I am gonna say it's the most expensive beer on the planet as well. But I don't think that even matters.
Doesn't matter.
Because typically when you're at the airport, unless you're Ben Miller, you're on vacation, right? And so that vacation beer at the airport, $17 later, whew, I think you're right, Bricky. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that statement.
So do you guys normally get beers at the airport?
Absolutely. 100%. I'm actually more of a mixed drink guy at the airport.
Just drinks at the airport.
Okay, so
Yeah.
still a drink.
Yeah.
I honestly, unless I have like time to kill, I'm not like getting to the airport to get drinks. Unless there's like, if I get there and I'm like, I got like 40 minutes, whatever, then I'll get a beer. Otherwise, I don't really care. Unless it's vacation and there's like, again, there's time. But I don't go out of my way to get a drink. It's not like a must do for me during airport travel. Is it a must do for you guys? Like, is it part of the like you're planning to get a beer so you get there a little early to just like ensure?
Yes. For me, absolutely. Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's not a must, but it's always like, yeah, I got 30 minutes here. I'm gonna sit here at this bar and belly up and get a nice little buzz on.
That's fair.
You know what? So I when I was traveling for work at my last job, it was always funny to me. I'd always like sit next to some random 40-year-old man and just start shooting the shit. And then actually the last time I traveled, besides your bachelor party, I went to Jacksonville and this dude bought me a drink. It was awesome. Just, shooting the shit, bought me a drink. He's like, all right, have a good one. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I got to pay it forward. Next time I go to the airport, buy someone else a drink.
Well, and the airport is literally, I think, the only place on the earth where it is just okay to have a drink at any time of the day because everyone's just always traveling. There's no rules or regulations around. 3 a.m, have a beer. 2 p.m, why not? 8 a.m, come on, sit down, have a drink.
Airports have a little bit of that like Vegas mentality where it's just like anything goes. I mean, obviously, except bad shit, but drinking's acceptable at all hours. And I will say airport beer is definitely a top. I'll give you top 5, but I don't know if it's number 1. So we can debate that at a later time, but I'll give you top 5 for sure.
All right. And so every time that I'm at one of these restaurants, I just cannot help but think that it takes a special individual to work at one of those places. Like, can you imagine? Like, I can't think of a worse place to work than at a restaurant in an airport.
No, because think about it. You probably have to go through security every single day.
Exactly. Pay for parking.
No. And if you're, run to people that, maybe have their flight delayed, they're probably cranky as shit and not very polite. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
Like, I'm just thinking about the commute. You got to show up at least 20 minutes beforehand to get through security, to get from your car into the airport through security just to get to work every day.
Right. And then like your entrance, you work at Chili's and Chili's is at the other end of the fucking airport. And so you have to walk through all the different terminals. Are you kidding me? No.
That does kind of explain why there's a lot of disgruntled restaurant employees at airports. I don't think I ever thought about how shitty of a commute it was just to like get through. Just like, they just magically appear. They have to have something to like get through quicker, but still.
I don't think so.
I think it's the law that you have to. I mean, maybe there's like an employee check line, but you're definitely gotta make sure that you're not like armed and,
For sure.
If anyone works at an airport, please let us know. We need to get to the bottom of this.
I'm generally curious now.
All right. So we asked a few different questions on our Instagram and we got some very interesting results. And we're going to start with are you a carry-on or check bag person? I know Benny is team carry-on, and it was a 70-30 carry-on being the 70 and check bag being the 30%, which I thought was interesting. And by the way, this was by far our most voted, I guess, polls we've ever done by far, which is really cool. So people are passionate about this stuff.
So it was 70% would rather check a bag, or no, would rather carry on a bag.
Team carry on for life.
I check a bag all day long, baby.
You're crazy.
So the only time, like, I feel like airports are the busiest in the morning, right? Like those 6 a.m. flights, that's when it's a madhouse and you don't want to do that. But any other time, why would you lug around a carry-on and throw it overhead or at your feet? Dude, you give it to them, you're hands off, man. You're lightweight, and go left and go right. It's the best.
So the key little life hack for everyone, the backpack. You put one on for school for freaking 12 years or however long you've been going to school. Backpack is the ultimate carry-on. I will die on that hill.
Well, so just the backpack, no additional suitcase. Okay.
Yes.
Well, then you're a primo packer. You're on the platinum packing club of America. If you can fit all of your stuff into a backpack, roll it up, baby.
Roll that shit up.
It's a good trick. More space. Brickner, I think you're crazy for wanting to check a bag. So I do think that 70% of the listeners are wise individuals because they are team carry-on, like myself. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. If there's like a lot of shit, sure, check it back. But if I'm going for something that's less than like 10 days, I don't need that much shit. You just got to learn how to rotate your stuff. Plus, I'm impatient as fuck, as you guys will continue to learn. And the more I check a bag, the more I have to wait. There's more lines. People are just, rushing around. Like one of the worst people at the airport is the airport rusher. They're rushing to get through security. They're rushing to get a beer. They rush to the gate. They're sitting there like half an hour, 45 minutes early, just like waiting to give that, attendant their ticket. And then as soon as the plane lands, they're like they just got off the treadmill. They're just like pumped and ready to run down to their freaking carousel to get their bag and get an Uber. It's a shit show. So if I can avoid 2 of those, I'm doing all right.
At my tender age of 30, I've realized the most valuable thing on this planet is time. And I will use that time not checking a bag to get the fuck out of the airport.
Yeah. Okay. When you land, your bag is to the carousel before you 9 times out of 10. So you guys are saving 30 seconds.
All right. Bricky, let me ask you a very serious question. What are the chances of you losing your carry-on?
Probably 0.
Okay. Now, I don't know. I don't have any stats to back this up, but I think there's more of a chance to lose your check bag than there is your carry-on. Correct?
I can speak to that. Yes. I've lost.
Yeah.
I've had 3 times lost.
Boom. Case in point.
Yeah.
Team carry-on.
Like if you're going to something important, like a wedding or you need your shit, I'm never checking the bag. I'm carrying on. I'm team carry on until I die because they lose that bag. You're fucked. What are you going to do? Buy a new suit? Then you got to pack that shit?
Whoa. Wait. So you just like crumple up your suit and put it in your carry-on?
Oh, I learned how to fold it properly to like put it in the carry-on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's lots of little like hacks.
I'm a big roller and stuffer, so I'm not really sure.
All right.
We're going to move on to our second question, which is whether you recline your seat or keep it upright. And
interesting.
Yes. So this was a little bit tighter of a race. 36% of people do recline and 64% don't recline.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah. And so in just my personal feeling is if the person in front of you reclines, you have the right to recline. If not, you have to stay. You can do maybe a little bit, right? Not full recline. We're talking full recline here.
10%.
Yeah. 5 to 10% recline I think is well okay.
But that's like all the recline is. It's not even worth doing.
Yeah.
It's like you move from sitting completely upright to like 1 degree back.
Like half an inch.
Yeah.
It's equally as uncomfortable. I think you said it as well as it could be said, Sarge. I don't think anybody should do the recline, but if somebody in front of you does it, it's like it has to happen at that point because it's just too uncomfortable. Then the freaking monitor is like pushed against your nose.
Honestly, if you recline the seat and you know, like you're watching a movie, you don't think about the person behind you, you're an asshole, big time asshole.
Yeah.
Work on your posture.
Well, and I'm 5'8", so I could care less if someone reclines in front of me. I just don't recline because A, it's not even a recline, and B, yeah, you just don't want to be that guy. I don't think it adds anything. It doesn't make you more comfortable.
I agree. The recline move is pretty bad. Not a fan of recliners. And let's be clear too. If it's like a long flight, fine. Knock your socks off. We're on a flight for 3 hours. You got an hour, 2 hours to go. Go ahead. Give yourself a little bit of extra reclining. But the people that really grind my gears are like the immediate recliners. You know, that the Wi-Fi 10,000 foot people, the ding dong goes off. They pull out their laptop. It's like, we're back. And they're so amped to do it. That's just like, they've been waiting the whole time. Airport people. The recliner guy is definitely on the shit list. People annoy me, clearly.
All right. Life Through Our Lens is setting a precedent here. Only international flights you can recline. There it is.
Fair enough.
All right.
Bam. All right. Now, our last poll that we did, which I think was the closest race, was would you rather sit in a window or aisle seat? So 60% of people voted window and 40% voted aisle. Now, Brickner, which seat are you taking?
I'm window all day. All day.
Now, no, what is the reasoning? Is it the views? Is it if you're hung titties and you need to,
No, okay. I'm like a little kid, so I definitely just like to look out the window, especially if it's like at night. It's kind of cool when you're landing and taking off and stuff. And also, if I really try just not to go to the bathroom on a plane, like I'm not afraid of it, but it's just like I'd rather just hold it and not. And if you're on the aisle, anyone on your left or right's got to go. You got to get up and let them out, which is a huge negative.
All right, Benny, you?
I'm an aisle guy.
Me too. All right, so we had someone message us, Pete Zucanoff. He's got just a great point here. So he says aisle on the way out to stay mobile, window on the way back when I'm hungover as shit to lean against the side. And I think that is the perfect combo. So shout out, Pete. That was a fantastic DM. I felt like we needed to read that because I think that's the play.
So a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, I kind of like that strategy because if you're going to Vegas, you're pretty jazzed to be there. You're going to pee 1,000 times because you're obviously having some airport beers. And on the way back, you got that barf bag ready to go and you're leaning against the window.
No, Benny?
No, dude, I'm still in the aisle. I don't care. I'm trying to get in and out.
Yeah,
that is a crafty thing. The only other thing that I've done before is like if I'm like really damaged on the plane ride home, I've sat in the middle seat intentionally, and I break all my protocols because at that point, just you're just trying to survive the day. I recline and then I try to use the side seat as the headrest.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah. The other person's shoulder.
Just like, because they stay upright, you go back, and doesn't work every time. That's the only time.
No,
but,
that's a veteran move. And
if you're hungover, you just doesn't matter. Rules don't apply.
Yeah, rules are off.
And the jet engine is like the perfect, just nice sleepy time.
Rock me, baby.
Yeah,
I agree. That's good shit.
I'm team aisle seat because I'm like 20% torso, 80% legs. So I like to stick my legs out in the aisle, potentially trip someone. I don't know, but I need that leg room because planes are not great for me. My knees are like in my face, I feel. All
right, Sarge. So on the leg room, are you an emergency row guy?
Oh, absolutely. I'll
they
do
trust you.
I know one time for sure I was the emergency exit guy, and I wore it with pride. I'll save everyone.
So like, plane goes down. You're saying this live on the podcast. You're definitely saving people. You're not just like exiting.
I'm just gonna say you're gonna want me at that door.
I always wondered if you could trust the emergency rail guy. They're like, they don't really ask you that much. Just like, hey, are you willing to help if needed? And everyone's just like, yeah. And then no one like, it's not like they're like, you got to sign an affidavit or anything. And all of a sudden, you don't know if you could trust that guy in the emergency rail. What if he's a huge dickhead? And he's just like, no, I'm going to get out. You guys see you later. I don't know.
What if like a plane goes down, like you crash, everyone survives, but you're like in the middle of the ocean. All of a sudden, the like flight attendant's going like, "What the hell are you doing, man? Get up here! Just hell, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Start ripping you.
You're a terrible emergency row exit person. You failed. You're banned from flights. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Sarge, that's good. That makes anybody that flies with Sarge is going to feel very easy if he's designated as the emergency man.
Oh yeah. You can count on me.
All right. And so, yeah, we got a couple more here. And I think if I asked 20-year-old Bricky this question, I'd probably have a very different answer. But are you guys just trying to find the cheapest flight available, whether that is layovers or not, or just doing direct flight?
I'm always going direct. I don't know. It used to be like, if I was younger, I would try to figure it out. But I've always flown so much that I just don't want to deal with layovers. It's always the worst. And especially in the winter, because, you're flying back for the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's always weather issues. So like adding a layover is just an extra layer of shit that can happen. And you don't want to be stuck for hours. It's the worst. It's the worst. Or you have to leave the airport and come back in through security, which is even shittier. So I am going direct, and I don't care how much it costs.
I was just about to say that. I don't even care if it's $500 more. Team direct all day. Are you kidding me? No. I don't even want to. I've experienced like one layover in my life, and that was going to Australia. But no, absolutely direct.
What about you, Bricky?
Oh, I'm direct. And I get I went and visited a buddy down in Corpus Christi last year, and there is no direct flights to Corpus Christi, Texas. So there was a layover, but that's really the only time I would do a layover, is if it's just not an option for direct.
I mean, at this point, I will honestly say if there's not a direct flight, my likelihood of traveling is decreasing significantly. I'm just like, it's not worth it. Like, I'll just wait, or I'll like search around for a direct flight because it's a pain in the ass.
I mean, you've talked so highly about airports and travel. I'm shocked to hear that from you, Benny.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's definitely the safest mode of travel and like the most convenient, but I don't know. At a certain point, I'm just give me in, give me out. But let's move on here, boys.
Yeah. And so we had, if you went and listened to our first episode back from our little break, the holiday horror story, you heard about the listener submission. They had a very bad Christmas, found out mom cheated on dad, so on and so forth. If you haven't listened to it, go back and check it out. But on that note, we had another listener send us in this crazy story from 2016, and it is just too good not to read. So it's a string of tweets, and I'm going to read it here. Stop me if you guys have anything to add. All right, the tweets go. So on Monday, we're discussing blood types, and this girl was trying to figure out why her blood type didn't make sense on her Punnett square. And that's just the possibility of outcomes you can have passed down from your mom and dad, like recessive and dominant, right, Benny?
Yep.
That's just the simplistic way to put it. So she told her professor her dad was blood type O and her mom was blood type A, but she was blood type AB. The professor explained that's impossible, and she's confused about her blood types. He even drew out a Punnett square to show her. The girl was persistent that she wasn't wrong and was confident that there was something wrong with how the professor was doing it. The professor told her to go home, talk to her parents, just double check because the information she's giving is just not correct. The girl comes back to class the next day and announces to the entire class of 243 people that her mom had an affair with her husband's brother. So technically, she's been raised by her uncle, not her dad, for her entire life. The mom hid it from both of them for 21 years. Oh.
Well, I think the person that submitted the story last time is definitely feeling much better about their situation, because this is a huge kick in the balls. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, and I can't imagine who feels shittier in that situation. The professor, the actual student, the brother, or the uncle. I don't even know at this point what to call who. That's a lot.
I think the student that announced that to her classmates, it was her, right?
Yep.
You are the real hero. Like, the fact that you just said that in front of everyone takes a lot of guts, and I respect the shit out of that. Oh my God. I probably wouldn't have said that.
Like, what about the professor, dude? Can you imagine the professor? He's like, yeah, like, so, like, who screwed up? Which one of your parents was an idiot or had, like, their blood type wrong? And she's like, yeah, actually, like, thanks for ruining my life. They, everyone's mad now. Thanks a lot, teach.
Parents are divorcing now.
Yeah, I can just imagine her, like, it's a big class. She's like the only one who can't figure it out. So it's turning into like this big deal. And the professor's like, all right, yep, just go back and check. She comes back, kicks the door in. You'll never guess. My uncle is my dad.
I knew it. No. Like, what do you think the mom thought about this? Do you think the mom knew?
I don't know.
Because that's like another, like, maybe she had no idea, obviously, about the affair, but
I'm sure that it was like a possibility. Like, if obviously it was a possibility, right?
yeah.
But I wonder if she like legitimately knew or not, or just like kind of turned a blind eye and was like, nope, the dad's the dad.
Ooh,
that is a good point there, Ricky. Because maybe I don't know if the dad and brother or whatever are actually brothers or not, but if they kind of looked like each other, you never would know. But if they're, let's say it's a stepdad or whatever, then I don't know.
Oh, they were brothers. They were brothers. And that brother, the uncle, the dad, whatever, the real dad is a scumbag.
They're brawling.
Oh, they're never talking again.
What do you think they're doing for Christmas this year?
Handing out food to the homeless. There's no other. Man, that's who do you get mad at first? If you're the husband, like,
good
your
point.
brother, like, are you mad? I don't even know who to be pissed at. I think I would just flip out. I'd be like, I'm going to Australia. See you fuckers later. Thanks for nothing.
You're curb stomping both of them. They're getting it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that poor girl. And holiday horror stories will continue to roll on, because that's a doozy. If anyone has a topper for that, I would be shocked, because that's about as bad as it gets.
So speaking of that, we want to hear more from you guys. We've been loving the participation we've been seeing, and keep sending us stuff. Make sure to leave us a voicemail at 651-419-0885. And do not forget to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and make sure you hit the follow button. Downloads are great, but the follow button is what really helps us on Apple and Spotify. If you don't want to leave a voicemail, we always got an email. So lifethroughourlens00@gmail.com. And be sure to check out our website as well, lifethroughourlens.com. And once again, thanks for listening, and spread the word, you frickin' turds.